Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. I'm Farhan Rizal bin Parjo. My matrix number 1191368. My title for this research is The Uses and Roles of Digital Dakwah to Social Media and its Challenges Among Youth in Community of Section 4 Shah Alam, Selangor. The title of this study was chosen by the researcher is The Uses and Roles of Digital Dakwah Through Social Media and its Challenges Among Youth in Community of Section 4 Shah Alam, Selangor. The objective of this study is to study the role of dakwah through social media in Section 4 Shah Alam Youth. In addition, the objective of this research is to examine the positive and negative impacts of using social media as a platform in delivering dakwah. Hence, the objective of this research is to investigate the challenges to separate dakwah through social media. The method used for this study is the interview method by interviewing 3 respondents among the residents of Section 4 Shah Alam. In addition, library and internet research methods are used by the researcher to get an in-depth understanding of the study. The result of this study is that dakwah is in social media plays an important role in spreading Islamic teaching and increasing Islamic knowledge in society, especially in youth in Section 4 Shah Alam. Dakwah can be said to urge all mankind to obey and believe in Allah Subhanahu wa Taala and His messengers, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and invite people to practice the values brought by Islam to balance people's life by the guidance of Al-Quran and Sunnah. Dakwah is part of the life and responsibility of every Muslim. Dakwah always requires various things that support the implementation of dakwah for people to understand the message of dakwah. During the era of Prophet Muhammad had used various types of medium to convey and separate dakwah all over the place. Through the upgrade system of communication today, every Muslim must take the opportunity by spreading good message, good deeds, and giving dakwah through social media with the guidance of Al-Quran, Sunnah, and Muslim scholars. Therefore, the modern communication technology that is available now must be used toward things that bring good and develop the people who follow the path of Islamic law and not use the facilities of technology towards negative things. Research background. Shah Alam is a district that received recognition as a city in 2000. Shah Alam is also a city close to the Kuala Lumpur, only separated by Petaling Jaya, which is about 27 kilometers away. Shah Alam was known as Industrial City due to the establishment of many industrial areas that house some multinational factories as well as provide many employment opportunities to the community and accelerate population growth. Besides, there is a district that is the main focus of the researcher, namely Section 4 Shah Alam. Section 4 is a small district located in Shah Alam. Section 4 is located near the Sultan Salahuddin Abdul Aziz Shah Mosque. Various infrastructures have been provided in Section 4 Shah Alam to provide to the community around the Section 4 Shah Alam area. Apart from that, in Section 4 Shah Alam, there is a school known as Sekolah Kebangsaan Raja Muda. The development of this school aims to reduce the illiteracy rate and produce educated people around the Section 4 Shah Alam area. Problem statement. The phenomenon of social media today plays an important role of people's lives today, and it can be found in various places by the availability of supporting facilities such as gadgets that are easily connected to the internet. Various content that is created around social media, including religious message and things that are related to the religious matters, can be said as one of the steps to separating dakwah. With easy access to the internet, explanations regarding our religion can be found easily, which may lead to the problem of the influx of information. The excessive of information can create a situation where users will become doubtful about the information in the social media while searching for authentic information. Users who have a basic and firm knowledge of religion can certainly read and analyze the dakwah message based on their knowledge about Islam, and things can be different for users who have minimal knowledge about the Islamic religion. Things are getting serious when some individuals nowadays pretend to be preacher and assume to know everything about what they say without actually providing a proper hadith or reference. In this situation, it is hard for people with strong Islamic education to believe in what they say and let alone accepting it. Research questions for this study. The first one is, what is the role of dakwah through social media in Section 4 Shah Alam Youth? Second, what are the positive and negative impact of using social media as a platform in delivering dakwah? And the last one, what are the challenges to separating dakwah through social media? Research objective for this study is, first one, to study the role of dakwah through social media in Section 4 Shah Alam Youth. Second one, to examine the positive and negative impact by using social media as a platform in delivering dakwah. And the third one is to investigate the challenge to separate dakwah through social media. The scope for this study focuses on the knowledge and views of the community about the spread of dakwah on social media. This study also focuses on the role of dakwah in social media to youth, the positive and negative impact in spreading dakwah in social media, and the challenge to spread dakwah on social media. This study was also conducted on respondents in Section 4 Shah Alam. The selected respondents are comprised of youth in the age of 22 until 26 years old. In addition, the selected respondent must be Muslim because it is in accordance with the study that focuses on the spreading of Islamic preaching. Definition of terms for digital dakwah. Dakwah can be said as the effort to convey, invite or call people to know Islam, accept and appreciate it, which is implemented through certain method, ways and approach. The message of dakwah can be spread either to non-Muslim who aim to invite them to join Islam, as well as Muslims themselves, which is to strengthen their understanding about Islam. New media can be defined as the use of the internet to convey information. It includes blogs, YouTube, social media such as Facebook and Twitter. Many individuals and organizations have become aware of the importance of the internet as a medium that can be used to convey information about Islam and Muslims. Nowadays, preachers in Malaysia are turning to the use of the internet in inviting people to do good and preventing them from doing bad things. New media is now seen as the main choice among preachers to convey information on Islam due to time and cost-saving factors, as well as the increasing number of audience from time to time. The definition of terms for social media. Social media can be said as a platform or medium that is easy to use and user-friendly for anyone to communicate and convey information to various users who have access to the internet. Social media brings various benefits not only for the aspect of information delivery system, but it can also improve an organization service to users, improve interaction with stakeholders, access to more information, and more efficient management for organizational information. Social media has become a major channel to improve the information delivery system with the active involvement of users such as students in development affairs and student activities at any level. Therefore, the development of social media should be enhanced in various aspects, whether in terms of administration, management and dakwah dissemination activities to ensure satisfaction to each user in ensuring that The information presented is true and has no distortion. Literature review. In this chapter, the researcher will present a deeper discussion on role of digital dakwah and uses of social media. It also present further discussion of the aspect of related previous research that has been done by researcher and a scholar in the research field. Different sources, including journals and articles, are reviewed to assist in development of this literature review. Concept of digital dakwah. Dakwah is a very important activity in Islam. With dakwah, Islam can be spread and accepted by humans. Conversely, without Islamic preaching, the community will further away and then will disappear from the surface of the earth in people's lives. Dakwah serves a religious life to the life of a harmonious and happy society. Islamic teachings that are broadcast through dakwah can save people and society in general from things that can lead to destruction. Dakwah in digital age is dakwah whose implementation is adapted to the conditions and circumstances of modern society, both in terms of materials, methods, and media to be used. Because it is possible that the material that is delivered is good, but the method or media used is not in accordance with the condition of modern society, then dakwah will suffer failure. When we interpret the word of bil hikmah, that is the wisdom among others, means the main purpose of all things, both knowledge and deeds. Hikmah is also interpreted as something that, when used for, will bring greater benefits and facilities. The delivery of dakwah is an important aspect that must be present in every preacher because it shows the Islamic identity brought by the preacher. Concept of social media. Social media has become an increasingly globalized and roots phenomenon of society. Social media is the result of the advancement of information technology and communication in its existence can hardly be separated from human life. Social media is a web-based form of data communication by creating platforms that allow users to have conversations, share information, and create web content. The presence of social media has helped a lot and benefits many people. Anyone in any part of the world can easily interact with friends that are much cheaper than by phone. In addition, the social media dissemination of information is also fast. There are some advantages that can be found in social media that are creating a more intense relationship, can make a wide global reach, and can control and measuring the effectiveness of the information. There's a two subtopic of digital dakwah. The first one is creating an Islamic apps. The availability of portable device today, such as laptop, smartphone, and tablets, gave a chance to deploy Islamic application to make the dakwah approach a more efficient and flexible. Application can develop to provide new mechanism to teach people about Islam, prayer times, recitation of Al-Quran, supplications of dua that can be used in daily life, and an explanation about Tawheed and Fiqh. The second one is audio media approach. Typically, the average person remembers approximately 20% of what they heard. The existence of audio media such as radio channels will render a great contribution to the ummah and to dakwah. The presence of radio allows listeners to get information related to their needs in just a few seconds. Audio media today allows the delivery of Islamic knowledge to deliver well without obstacles, and also the message of dakwah that is conveyed can be heard by the community. There's also two subtopics for social media. The first one is visual communication. Visual communication is the process of simulating people who exchange information using a computer or the internet. It also can be defined by using both synchronous and asynchronous methods such as phone, audio, and video conferencing. Most people nowadays are busy with their virtual communication, and they cannot find time to talk with people that are close to them and friendly to them in their physical environment. In our world moving from the real world and leaving the world of visual identity and false intimacy. Second one is interactivity. The distinguishes new media from traditional mass media channels and content is the persistent sagacity of interactivity associated with new media channels. That is, the selectivity and reach that media technologies offer users in their choice of information source and interaction with other people. The term of social media has been used to describe emerging new technologies that are important to public relations, while the term was initially used to describe the interactive nature of blogging. It is felt that social media or new media can be broadly applied to all interactive technologies. The next chapter for this research is research methodology. In this chapter, the researcher will discuss about the method that be used in the research, mention every component involved in sampling techniques used for the interview. And also, this chapter will provide a detailed explanation of the selected method of analysis used and data collection method. Research design. This study is qualitative research which started by library research. The researcher used library research to review and obtain related literature from the past studies. Then, the next method in qualitative research is interview. In this study, the researcher will conduct an interview session with several people who can provide information on the topic of the study. The interviews are designed to generate respondent perspectives about ideas, opinion, and experience. Through the interview, researcher is extremely important to get as much data as possible for later analysis. The next one is sampling. The target population in this study refers to Section 4 Shah Alam youth. The researcher involves certain people in Section 4 to obtain the data and answer the interview question, and the people involved is about 3 people. The location chosen for this study was in Section 4 Shah Alam Selangor, and the researchers choose the sample based on their age and occupation who live at Section 4 Shah Alam. The data collection. Researcher is using the individual's interviews as the main method for collecting data. To use this method, there are some procedures need to follow by researcher to get the data, which is before, during, and after interview session. Researcher use all sources of data that contain primary and secondary data. For the data analysis, in order to analyze the data, the following method has been used to follow because the information that has been recorded over the phone will be transferred to the laptop for more clarity and easy of the data entry. The data will be recorded by researcher and rewritten into a piece of paper. Important information will be highlighted. The information will be analyzed and collected according to the point. The researcher will summarize the data that has been analyzed based on the objectives of this study. The next chapter is research findings. The first objective for this research is role of dakwah through social media in Section 4 Shah Alam Youth. Najida and Abu Dardas have stated that the media is one of the wasilah dakwah used by preachers today. It can be said that the media helps a lot in communication and dissemination of information among the community. It also helps a lot in the dakwah movement, in organization, or the individual himself in fighting for dakwah and the religion of Allah on earth. According to the respondents, most of them said that the role of dakwah through social media should be taken into consideration, especially the preachers. This is because with the development of technology now, allows preachers to make an appropriate approach, especially to youth. Nowadays, many teenagers are so negligent with the use of social media that they forget their responsibilities as Muslims. The existence of social media today opens up opportunities for preachers to spread da'wah more effectively. With the availability of media such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, the dakwah can be shared in various forms, whether in written form, video, or pictures. The subject of dissemination of dakwah through social media such as Tawheed and Fiqh is one of the ways for the youth to learn Islam and strengthen the basic knowledge about Islam. The second objective for this research is positive and negative impacts by using social media as a platform in delivering dakwah. The positive impact through the respondent answer, the positive impact of spreading dakwah through social media is can save time. If we look at the approach of dakwah in the past, it can only be delivered in a limited time and tied to a schedule that has been set. With the advancement of information technology today, dakwah can be done at any time and there is no time limit to continue to deliver dakwah to the community. This does not mean that the traditional method of dakwah approach cannot be used, but with the availability of social media, it can make it easier for preachers to spread dakwah and the community to understand more deeply about Islam. For the negative impact, respondents stated that the negative effect in the dissemination of dakwah through social media is the dissemination of false and unauthentic information. The spread of this unauthentic information is indeed a matter of concern. This is because adversely affect either those who receive the information. When associated with dakwah, it is something that should be taken into consideration by every party, such as Muslim, scholars, religious institutions, and preachers. If the knowledge imparted related to Islam is not authentic and false, then it will bring harm to society and cause them to deviate from the true teachings of Islam. For the third objective for the research is challenge to spread dakwah through social media. Through the interview with respondents, the respondents said that the challenge of spreading dakwah through social media is when a person gets something knowledge and they are too obsessed with it. In Islam, there are various debates of knowledge and also branches of knowledge that can be learned and practiced by every human being. We can see that there are four main mazhab that can be learned and followed in the same way as in prayer, fasting, and things that are related. Obsession with one knowledge and rejecting another view is something that should not happen and should be taken seriously, especially by the preachers. Besides, according to Dominic, the nature of new media can be categorized as selective, where the audience can select only the desired media message. From the statement, it is like the respondents' answer related to the challenge of dakwah through the social media, that is, the community acceptance of dakwah that is delivered. For example, a preacher whose delivery is a theme and uses a loud tone of voice cannot be accepted by some listeners because for them, there are other approaches that can be used to attract the interest of the public. This is actually difficult to discuss and resolve because each preacher has their own way and each listener has their own acceptance. The next chapter is discussion, recommendation, and conclusion. In this chapter, researcher will summarize the whole research that had been done. Overall of the study, the researcher also will concluding for discussion and result has been done by researcher. Beside that, the implication to the subject matter of the study. Then, the researcher provide the recommendation based on the researcher understanding and is able to provide information and references which can assist future researcher. Discussion of findings. The existence of social media can build the dakwah group in purpose to post and share the message of Islam more widely and also can deeply discuss the Islamic knowledge. The creation of Islamic application is able for Muslims to learn, ask and teach about the teaching of Islam. Dakwah communication is effective if the recipient adapts a certain attitude conveyed by the preacher. The process of receiving a message depends on experience, social culture, individual characteristics, and psychology audience. According to Izwah, ethics in effective media communication will make the target of dakwah believe in the preacher and will narrate the problems that exist. This makes society, especially youth, are more interested in studying Islam on various media platforms. The excessive use of social media may have a negative impact on the youth, especially from their learning that will affect their exam result and their future. This problem should be concerned by all parties, especially religious institutions and also the preachers, informing youth who have a strong identity with the teaching of Islam. A recommendation of the study: as a researcher, I suggest that there be an awareness program in the Muslim community that addresses the community specifically to sanitize the pros and cons of using social media sites. It is better to continue to do good deeds and remember that Muslims are example for all human beings. From the point of view of da'wah, the delivery of da'wah to social media that uses the evidence of the Quran and Hadith that are not authentic will cause confusion and result in the community practicing teachings that deviate from the path of Islam. Social media must play an active role in shaping a youth community that is rich in true and authentic information and skilled as a prosperous God. Parents should be careful about the use of mobile smart device for children. If parents can control the use of gadgets, don't allow bad websites to enter. If parents can control bad things, the whole world will be in parents' control through social media. For conclusion, the benefits of social media sites that focus on improving word efficiency, the true teachings of Islam, maintaining social relationships, and so on are also included in various sources. Social media networks are becoming a very popular global network around the world. In general, the negative effects of media and social media are many, but it is not only the role of Muslims and the role of religion as Islam, but also the role of the whole world of mankind. In this era of information technology advancement, there has been an opportunity for the call of Tawheed to separate the message to call Allah to the path of Allah. By taking advantage of this opportunity, the teaching of the Quran and Sunnah need to be conveyed through all platforms available in the media. The beauty of Islam should be highlighted to the public, especially to teenagers. The challenge of ignorance must be addressed with the light of the Quran, which must be conveyed to every corner of the world.